Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Rockwood 2707 WS travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for this awning, as well as a slide. On your off campsite, besides your slides, I want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to be all the way back here on the rear corner. And then your water connection for campsites is going to be right here. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Leave plenty of room for everything. Once you arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we're going to do is level our unit. Unit comes with a power tongue jack. Power tongue jack here on the front. Night docking light should you arrive at night. Simply raise or lower the unit to your level. Now should you lose power, under this rubber stopper right here, this tiny hand crank, the same as the other hand cranks, will get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts every now and then. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose going down the road. Sorry. Yours are going to be disconnected for the winter for you. Alright, once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit got these scissor stabilizing jacks. Power hit extend, that's going to bring them down. Now I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris. Hot blacktop in summer. Get a 4-pack of those from our store and run these down just until they're taut. 2 in the front, come here to the rear to extend the other ones. Now remember, our unit's level. We only want to run these down until we're taut. We just want to stabilize the unit. We don't want to change the levelness. So as soon as they feel like they're going to start to lift the unit, that's when you're going to want to stop. Our unit level and stable, we can hook up our power and water. Big long 50 amp cord plugs in here in the rear. They come in at say 11 o'clock, turn it to noon, put it on your gray washer. Now at the end of that, should you need to plug into a 30 amp at a campsite, in your convenience pack will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer, 50 to 30 amp reducer, and then it also will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer in case you need to plug into a 110. Get your power hooked up, hook up our water. Right around the corner here is city water connection. This is what we'll connect to at campsites. First and foremost, a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protect the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so always use these. Hook that up, hook up your hose, but don't turn your hose on yet. One more step, just find your hot water heater. Yours is going to be located over here on the campsite, right around the corner here. And all we're doing at this point, folks, is making sure our drain plug's back in. Throw some plumber's tape around that, not putty. Putty will gum up on you. Put some plumber's tape in there, get that in there nice and snug, then you can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now if that hose has been on for a few minutes, we're going to go inside and open up our slides, get in there and open up all of our water taps. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them, get all the air out of the lines. Then you can shut them off and you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go dry camping. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank, which is all the way at the front on our off campsite. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can simply gravity fill this with a hose. 2 ways to tell when it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here. Or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that when you're filling this up. Once it's full, remove that hose, put your cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump indoors. Don't turn on your water pump and hook the city water. That is already pressurized. Alright, we're all set to camp with power and water. Let me walk you around the rest of the unit. Continuing here on the off camp side, we've got a switch for our docking lights. Big pass-through storage. Our freshwater drain. Big handle there, that'll dump that quickly. So our black tank and 1 galley or gray tank will dump here, black and gray, and then you have an extra gray on the rear. Speaking of black and gray tanks, when we dump them, we'll flush that out. We'll talk about that when we leave the campsite. Fluid for your furnace, a few things on that. 1, make sure it's never blocked. 2, steer clear of it when you're running it. It does get hot. And 3, they do make bug guards for those that we sell in our store here. You got access to the back of your fridge here for the techs. This is a hole for a manual override for your slide. Access to your water pump, as well as where you'll put a filter in. There's a handle for changing your filter. Gray tank number 2, this is where we dump that other water. And our low point drains are going to be right up in here in the corner. Again, our power, cable hookup. Got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year, check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. If you prep for a backup camera, that is access. This is a vent for your hood range. Another vent. This is your power tongue jack again, or power stabilizing jacks. Spare tire has a cover. Keep an eye on that over the years. One more thing on your hot water heater. If it doesn't seem to be working, come out here, look to see if either one of these are bubbled up. If they are, simply press them back in, or overheat reseal or reset. Big storage area here. Our outdoor fridge and griddle. You've also got a table that you can hook up onto this lip down there. There's another LP connect down there in case you want another griddle going. LP connect for this one is right here behind your tire. This is lighting you can set to motion or on. Make sure you keep these locked during travel. A couple of outdoor speakers and your antenna. Again, you've got room to snatch push a TV on here. You got your griddle here. Cable and 110 here. Again, the access pass-through storage area. There are your hand cranks. Your propane is on a regulator. Simply lefty-loosey to open and point it toward the tank you wish to be using. That about covers everything out here. Zach, go check out the inside. Alright, coming up inside the unit, to my left is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Coming straight in is our control panel. So I'm going to start up here and show you this is your brand new battery. Fresh black and gray tanks. Here's where you turn on your water heater. If hooked to electric, your water heater if hooked to gas, it does make a difference. Down here's where you turn on your water pump when utilizing that fresh water. Your slide controls, we'll utilize those in 1 second. Your awning, on your awning, you only want to run that out until you see that silver bar. Your flap will fall down when it's not wet. But just run it out to that point. Don't run it out past that point or it'll start to run itself up onto itself and run itself up backwards. So keep an eye on you when you run it out. Only run it out as far as you need to. Comes in. Shut off my awning lights. And let's open some slides. Slide number 1. We push out. That's going to be our off campsite slide. That's the word I'm looking for here. Number 2 is going to be our campsite. I do want you to hear when these slides get all the way out. You could hear it a little bit with the other one. I want you to hear it. Pretty much talks to you and says, I'm all the way out. Sounds like a grind, but it's not. It's just the mechanism saying it's all the way out. Lastly, we're going to have our wardrobe slide. I'll be able to see it from our bathroom here. Slide that one out. It's a shorter slide. All the slides are out. I'll tell you also interior, porch, and other lights here, step light and Wi-Fi. I'll send you a video on the Wi-Fi Ranger Forest River has a nice one telling how to hook those up. I'll tell you also, slam locks work best when gently slammed. Let's go immediately into our thermostat. Let's go through the modes here. Gotta turn it on first. Oh, get back to cool. There's cool. I should crank our AC up real quick. Back to cool, there we go. These do have a quick dump. If you close those, it increases your power here. Or open them up to cool it right down in here. Go through the mode and shut that off. Oh, right back around to cool. You gotta watch yourself going through to make sure you don't go too far. And off. Oh my gosh, I did it again. Off. Now, once you get to off, it generally shuts off rather quickly. Okay, so now I'm going to go to heat, thermostat, system heat, gas, turn the heat up to 80, 81 here. And the heat will kick on. The biggest thing I want you to notice is when I shut the heat off, that it takes a few minutes to cycle through before the fan shuts off. Oh, there it goes. Actually, your returns over here, you can hear that. Alright, let me shut that off. Again, it's going to take a few minutes and it'll cycle through. All the way down here, going to be your breaker box enthusiast, handful of 15s, and a 30. Highly recommend having them with you when you go camping. This is your carbon monoxide and propane detector. Continuing into our living room, we have what we call a parachute pole for your recliner. You've also got heat, massage, and light in case you can't find your cup. These, they have little tables. I don't know if they have them in this used unit, but there's little tables that you can connect to these little tray that you can eat from. Storage here with a couple of charging ports. We'll go to your fridge real quick. Turn that on. When you turn it on, it says auto. Auto means when you're plugged in, you're running off electricity. As soon as you unplug, you're on gas. Lift that button up, you're strictly on gas. If that light starts flashing, check your gas. 110 with GFCI reset. A working microwave, light and fan. Above your cooktop. This glass top makes a nice backsplash. Let's flip that up there. Come down here, turn that to light, hit your spark, and there's your flames. You gotta get the gas turned on out there. Remember, you may have to bleed your lines too when your gas is turned on. Bleed your lines to make sure that you get gas in these. And that's what I did. And I went outside to make sure both gases were on. Came inside, held this in for a minute, got some gas going through the lines. So do that. That'll get those lit. Same thing on your oven. Turn this to light. Light it with this spark. That'll light your pilot light. Make sure you see it lit. And then turn it to your desired temperature. Plumbing. Keep an eye on your plumbing. Bounce the house down the road. There's an access panel there. If you travel a lot with this and bounce this up and down the road, just remember to keep an eye on things. Your table will fold down. Push this yellow button to the right. That'll kind of jackknife this table down. You can put it on here, all four corners. Put your flat cushions on top for another sleeping quarters. Got our smoke alarm here. Find some remotes here. Let's start with your TV. Turn that on. While it's turning on, we'll go behind your TV and show you all this storage and your antenna. Make sure this green or this light here is on. It is good. That is your antenna.
In the ear canal design that is nearly invisible. Why keep missing out on important conversations or
Again, go into your menu, run a digital channel scan when you get to the campsites so you can pick up all the local channels. Put that off, go to our sound system, AM, FM, Bluetooth, DVD, CD player, 3-zone speakers. Let's try to find some music here real quick. It's hard to pick up much inside these metal buildings. Give it a little scan here. Indoor, bedroom, and then outdoor speakers. Again, you'll pick up much more once you're outside this metal building. Lastly, a fireplace. Not just for looks anymore. I can go through and show you the pretty colors, make it brighter or dimmer, but the biggest thing is the heat. If you're at a campsite somewhere and you're plugged in and it's chilly in here in the morning or evening, don't waste your gas with the furnace. Crank up this electric heat up on high, and this will get it toasty in here in no time. Heading back, here's the antenna to make sure you bring up and down. Going into our bathroom. Got my light in here in this back corner. 110 with GFCI reset here. You do have a hand crank open power exhaust vent here, 4 different speeds on that. A shower door that you want to make sure you have snapped closed for travel. Again, 110 with GFCI reset. This door you also want to have snapped open, so this don't bounce around a lot on you. Biggest thing in here is making sure these wardrobe doors are closed and nothing's in between here when we're traveling. Charging ports, 110 up here. Not much more to talk about in the bedroom. You do have a TV back there, a cable of 110 here, and a hand crank open vent here. So let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I like to start by walking through, make sure my vents are closed and every door is in the secured position that I want it for traveling. A couple individual lights in here to shut off. Just one touch. You do have storage underneath this mattress as well. Again, we just don't want lights on our unit as we are traveling. There's that magnet's open. Walk through the unit and make sure everything's secured. So shut off all these interior lights. And then you can look and see what lights are actually individual hand lights that I need to come through and individually shut off. Now I can go back to my control panel, turn on my interior lights and say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede our slides from coming in. I will open this up. Just start with our bedroom wardrobe slide, which was number 3. Just hit in. I'm going to do this backwards this time. I'm going to do number 1 first. Excuse me, number 2 first. That's going to bring my, number 1 first. This way it's going to bring my off campsite in. I can see it come in. Again, make sure all your drawers down there are closed completely so that they don't pop open during travel and that you break them open in your slides. Slide number 2 in. You see the bottom comes in first. That's because that's where the mechanism is. And once it's all the way in, again hearing that noise, shut off our interior lights and exit the unit. Biggest thing on these steps, make sure this exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise this piece right here is going to catch on it. Your feet are also adjustable. Cotter pins and knees. Set that inside. Before you leave the dump station, lock and deadbolt your door, or lift and turn this handle. That's how you want that door to go for traveling. Alright, if we are out dry camping, we're going to bring up all of our stabilizing jacks. Front and rear. Come around to our freshwater tank. Get up underneath there. Dump that. And head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we are at a campsite, we'll unhook our power, our water, our cable. Bring up our stabilizing jacks. And head on up to the dump station. At the dump station park accordingly, you're going to have 2 dumps here. First one you're going to want to dump is going to be in front of your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle, because we're going to want to dump our sewage first. Park accordingly, hook up your sewage hose, and pull your black handle. When that sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, check the level of your black tank. Shows empty or pretty close to it. Come back out here, leave that black handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, hook it up here and let it run for a good 5 minutes. Again, emphasizing leaving that black handle open. Let that run, wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, close that up. Make sure all that extra water we just put in there has drained out. Then close your black and pull this gray. That's going to be cleaner water, your sinks, your showers. That'll clean that out for you. In this case, it's going to be your front kitchen sinks. When that's done, take the sewage hose, come back to our other gray tank, which could be almost at the rear of the unit. Hook that up and pull that. That's going to be your bathroom sink and shower. While that's draining, get up underneath here and dump these low point drains. If we're done camping for the season, you don't want to leave stagnant water in your hot water heater. Come around here, lift up on this pressure release valve. Now be careful, some hot water is going to come out of there. When that's done, push that back down. Then you can pull your drain plug for your residual hot water. When your last gray is done, again, that's cleaner waters. You take and close that up and take your sewage hose and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here at your bumper and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Rockwood for many years to come. Happy camping.